This game promised so many different things, and sure, the enormous amount of hype built around a game that promises so much is a large factor into the disappointment that flocked to No Man's Sky, but we need to remember this hype was built around this game for a reason. Hello Games promised and even went so far as to show actual in-game footage doing things that you can no longer do in-game, well, as of now. Sean Murray himself said that in many interviews and previews of the game on how ambitious and cool things were going to be. Yeah. There's an excellent Reddit post by Reddit user Meet Wayne Kerr, and he showcases a lot more in depth on the things that Sean Murray said and showed that I didn't really go into depth in this video, and he does a really good job. Anyways,
a universe-sized sandbox. It's full of choices. Like here, we're at the boundary between two warring factions. I could join in, I could take sides.
I have not seen anything like this in the game. I haven't experienced anything like it. I haven't really seen any videos where there's this large scale of a battle happening, etc., etc. There are more than 10 really large ships there. It would be awesome if I could join this type of battle, and destroy dozens of other little spaceships and fighters and whatnot, and then gain or destroy alliances with certain races, and, gain things from those alliances. This footage is almost from a year ago, and it looks like this game was more developed a year ago than it is now. I mean, sure, this could just be a problem with the whole procedurally generated part of the game, where maybe these space battles on such a large scale aren't exactly something that get generated all the time, or what have you. But if there are these types of space battles in the game, you don't really see them that much, and they're probably really rare. I mean, if you showcase that you'll have space battles, and you showcase a really big one, and you showcase, and you market it like, oh, you're gonna have these huge space battles like this and that and whatever, then obviously people are gonna put in their heads that your space battles are gonna be 20 plus ships in there. The overall depth of the game is just it's just not there at all.
And different races have different attributes. So some are scientific, some are kind of combative,
right?
And depending on how I'm playing, I might want to kind of make an allegiance with one or other, So for instance, I might be a trader, and so I'll favor a trading race.
This isn't a thing in the game. This depth of gameplay where you can, make alliances and you get benefits from different types of races, whether they be a militant type or a science type race with actual gameplay significance, that's not there. You can't, if I go and I become friends with this science type race, I'll gain better things for exploration, or maybe, I'll gain more things to craft or whatever. Sure, you do gain things to craft. But other than that, it's not really too much help.
More significance that you can do. So if you try and destroy an entire space station or something like that, then that feels a lot more significant, or take out a whole fleet or something like that.
You can't destroy space stations or large fleets in game. There isn't this level of freedom available in game. You can't destroy space stations. You can't even melee inside a space station. There is none of that. Also, there aren't these, not to say they aren't large scale creatures, they do exist, but there aren't creatures like this where, they're running around, they're in the water, like mammals that are in the water, not fish obviously, but mammals that are in the water and etc. And there aren't really big creatures affecting the environment in certain like how that rhino did. And sure, I might just be nitpicking at this point, but come on, man. There aren't any crash freighter ships. I haven't seen any pictures of it. I haven't seen it myself. This just isn't I don't see it. If you've seen it, sure, show me please, link it. You know, I've come across plenty of little ships. Yeah, those exist, like the ships that you can go in and then you can make your own. But there aren't any really large, you know, crash freighter ships in the game with sentinels around them, etc. Even the overall crafting depth just isn't there. It's not like what Sean Murray said.
And when we release the game, we're not telling people, here are all the formulas. We're just letting players loose, and a little bit like Minecraft, people can, you know, figure out those rules themselves, because I think that's quite fun. And
You can't really craft anything in game unless the game has already introduced it to you. What does this all leave you with? It leaves you overall, it's a game that's just suffered from incredible, intense hype buildup and, you know, somewhat broken promises. The hype for this game was so large and so crazy that, you know, no game could really live up to that. We've seen this happen in tons of games and tons of companies, Ubisoft. Maybe people thought it would be different this time around because it's an indie, but I don't know. At the current state of the game, what was shown to us was a couple of months ago isn't really the same thing that we're getting right now. What's so good about today's games though, compared to back in the day when you got a game and that was it, is that, you know, they can still fix their game. They can put out patches and they can overhaul the game to add more depth and aspects in the game that were originally promised. But at the moment, I don't think No Man's Sky is worth $60 or even a game you should invest in for $60. It'd be much better to just probably wait for them to either fix the game or to get it on sale. Again, really, this is really biased and it's just my opinions. I mean, if there's anything wrong with the video, like if I put any facts that weren't really there, like if things are there and I said they weren't, correct me. But I mean, you can check out the actual Reddit post if you want a better picture of the situation. He did a much better job than me in explaining everything. But again, you're just left with a game that you go into a planet, you explore, you mine, you go to the space station, get money, and then you start all over again. You lose the magic and everything in the game in the first 2-3 hours. After that, it just becomes repetitive mining and farming and, you know, just bland gameplay. It's all on the surface. There's no depth to this game, and it's just not worth it. Anyways, thank you if you made it to the end of the video. This is the first video of this type that we're making for the channel, and I hope it did a good job. If you like this content, then be sure to subscribe to us. This is a fairly new channel, and we'll be making many more videos to come, so stay tuned.